Today we are going to walk through Articulate Rise. This is a really exciting piece of software. I'm really excited to do this review and walk through it with you. So let's get into it. First thing, to access Articulate Rise, you need to have a subscription to Articulate. I'm a personal believer that these subscriptions are really nice because you get automatic updates, but I do think that the prices of Articulate are on the higher end of things, which is not a good thing. But there are all kinds of different deals like your company or school can get worked out, but it is a little on the pricier end, so just be aware of that. That's one of the bad things I'm not a fan of Articulate about. I love the subscription model, I just don't necessarily like the price. Okay, so to access the software, you need to have an account. Website is rise.articulate.com. So the first thing, you don't actually need to download anything to access this software. You don't need to download anything. It's all run from the web browser, which is really cool. This piece of software is designed to be a very simple development tool. Quick, easy, accessible, easily outputted in various different means. Very simple to develop. I mean, I want to say simple like PowerPoint. Let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages. Let me go through it. All right, so the first thing you see on the screen here, these are just some sample courses that I've been playing around with and stuff. But you can see on the left-hand side, you create a new course, you've got deleted courses, you can create folders to organize, you can organize some stuff here, and here's my account information. All right, so what you want to do, if you're going to create a course, you simply go to new course. When you do that, you can create a blank course from scratch, or you can create a template. You can use one of their templates. So if you click on the templates, and I'll just click on it, they offer about like, I don't know, I'd say like 30 different examples. And basically, if you click on one of the templates, I'll just click on one of them. Just let me preview to show you what it looks like. It basically gives you a sample course that you could go in and fill out all of your information. So like if you were teaching someone this topic, it's an actual like pre-designed course that you could just fill in some of the stuff to make it customized to your area. And they've got content here. And you can go in and basically you see like the introduction and what they're teaching. And, you know, if I click on the malware section, like it'll take me there and you can see what it actually looks like on the screen. And basically the template allows you to fill things in. But what I want to show you is I want to show you how to actually develop this because I want to walk through all the different options they have. But something I will show you while I'm looking at this course preview, you can see what it's going to look like on tablet, tablet landscape, cell phone. So the courses are responsive. Whatever you develop in this is responsive, that it's going to work on any of your devices, and they show you what that's going to look like, which is really cool. All right, let's get back into the software because we don't need to do anything with this. We've seen the course preview. Let's go back. All right, so we're back into our templates. We're going to get out of this. I'm going to click the X on the top of the screen, and you can see all the different templates that they have. Again, I said there's about 30 of them. I'm going to X out of here, and I'm going to go to a new course, blank course, because I want to show you what the meat is and what you can do with this thing. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, you're going to describe your course, and let's call this course Example Rise Course. And then we can add a lesson title. Let's say like intro. Perfect. Shift enter. I can add another one. Let's call it Introduction to Rise. Perfect. Okay, so I've created my intro. My first lesson is going to be Introduction to Rise. This is the basic development shell. I can see on the upper part of the screen that I have my settings, share, review, export, and preview. Now, notice how it's not letting me review yet because I haven't put any content in here. All right, so before we start actually editing and adding our content, let's go into our settings and make sure everything's set correctly. So first of all, I need to add a logo. I can upload it, a cover photo. I'm not going to do all of that stuff right now because there's no reason for me to do all of that when I'm just showing you and walking you through the piece of software. I'm just showing that you can do it. And the font and color customization. Navigation. Do I want to have a sidebar? Like the sample template I just showed you had a sidebar. Do I want to search? Do I want to mark lessons complete? So I will talk about this when we talk about exporting, but you can export these to an LMS. So things like this can be added to that. Do we want buttons and just some basic things? Translation. So if you want to create a translation, you need to create a duplicate of your course. And then they walk you through how to actually create a translation of a course. It's not a feature I tested because honestly, I couldn't test it for accuracy because I don't speak any other languages, but it seems like a very intuitive process. It seems very simple. It's really easy to duplicate the course. The process is simple. How accurate it is another question. For those of you that are know other languages, you can go in and test that and let me know how it does work. All right, then we have labels. Like, what do I want things to be called? Like, do I want start course to be called start course? And all that kind of stuff. What is complete? You know, they give you all kinds of actually tons of options here, like stuff you don't always think about. So it's very customizable, which I really like. Kind of cool. But I'm just going to keep it on all the defaults for now. And then do I want anyone, who else do I want to collaborate on this? Do I want to invite people so that they can help me work on this? All right, so those are all like our initial like setup settings. All right, let's close it. Okay, and I can enter like my course title here, which I've entered right here. You know, all that kind of stuff. But let's get to the juice. Let's get to the meat of this piece of software, and that is in your content. So we're creating an introduction to Rise. Now, just keep in mind, I can create like 30 of these, you know, lessons right here. I'm just creating one for the sample. You know, we can go back into the template again and just show you how sophisticated it does get. So let's click Add Content. So do we want to add a lesson, like the content, or do we want to add a quiz? I'm going to show you how to do both. And you can put quizzes right into your content. So I'll just show you how to do that. It's pretty simple. All right. So the first thing they're giving me an option for is they want me to create a block. So the way these courses work is that they create like blocks, which basically like is a section of the screen that you scroll up and down. So a block is a section of the screen that you scroll up and down. So like you might have like first block might be like a picture. Second block might be like a video. Third block might be like a knowledge check. And then you move on to the next part, that kind of thing. So that's how they organize their courses. It's not really organized by like screen left to right. It's more organized in this up and down fashion. Okay, so they give me some options here for a block. Text, list, image, and all this stuff. But if you click all blocks, which is what I prefer to do, these are kind of like links, like quick links. I'd much rather click all blocks. When you click all blocks, they show up here on the left-hand side of the screen. And if I click any of these like text, the options for the kind of text show up. So let's just quickly go through all of these quickly. So I can see like when I click text, I get a bunch of options. I click statement. They give me all kinds of different options for statements. I can click quote, and they give me some different types of options for quotes. You can see like this one, there's a head with lines in the text. This one doesn't have the lines. This one has the picture with the quote next to it. So they give you options for quotes. We can create a list, a numbered list, checked list, bulleted list, images. So there's all kinds of different images. Do we want like image and text? Text on image. Do we want a gallery? You know, 2-column grid, 3-column grid, 4-column pictures, multimedia. They give us options for audio, video, embedding, attachments, code snippets. I've done a lot of testing with this, and it actually works out really well. And one of the cool things I'll show you when we're actually adding content is that like they have sample, like, so if I want to add images, they have images that you can already pre-use and you can just stick them right in, which is really helpful. So if you don't have something, they have stuff for you that you can use. Like you can see this video right here of the ocean. Interactive. Do I want things like, you know, an accordion tab? These are things that you should be familiar with if you use Captivate or Articulate to develop with already. Just basic like, you know, learning tools to help people go through things like a graphic with hotspots on it and things like that. You know, all the basic things that you would expect, like a flashcard grid, buttons, button stack, you know, that kind of stuff. Then we have our quizzes or knowledge checks, which they're very easy to develop with, really simple. They give you a couple options like a matching, fill in the blank, response. We've got charts, different kind of charts that we can add. We've got dividers, like a continue, a spacer. And then we can actually create block templates so that we can reuse these over and over again as we're going to continue to create a course that's going to have the same exact template on every single screen. So that's something that's very useful. I'm not going to do that for right now. There's no reason for us to do that when I'm just creating a sample here. I just want to show you a couple of these, what they look like. So let's just add text just to show you what it looks like. So you can see we have our intro, we've added text. Here is how we edit the text. Sample text. I've got my settings for the text. All that I did to get that screen is I clicked on it. You can see this is how I delete it. Garbage can. You can see right here is how I edit it. All right, so let's create a new block. Let's add an image under my text. And you can see, look how it scrolls. There was my text. Now, and look, you can see the blocks on the screen. Like this is block 1. This is block 2. Notice that the little divider line there. That is how you know that like there's a new block. And you can see if I click on the little plus, it'll add a block in between. Now look, they've automatically just, and you can put a caption for this image. They've automatically by default just given me an image. I don't want an image of a bicycle there, so I can click edit and I can find a new one. There's the size. I just simply click edit here, replace image, replace from content library, or I can replace it with something that I want to upload. So replace from content library. Let's see what they have about themselves. Rise, because that's what we're talking about, right? I like this balloon. And it's uploading it, and then it'll add it in, and voila, we got a picture of a balloon. And it's the same thing if I wanted to add a video, which I'm not going to do. But if I clicked video, they give me all these options for videos. The videos play right on the screen. Really cool, really nice. They give you just, I can add any of these. I can add a nice image gallery. I can add some multimedia stuff, some interactive. Like I'll just add an interactive thing. Let's just add this just so you guys can check it out. When I click, and it's working right away. I mean, obviously I need to add in my content, my images. I would click edit to edit it, but it's working right away. Super, super simple, right? Oh, let's go back to edit our content. Add another one. Let's go to all blocks. Let me show you the knowledge. I'm not going to add in every single one of these. I mean, it's literally just clicking the button, adding it in, and editing it. Let me just show you the knowledge check so you can see how the quizzes work. So I will just do, multiple choice, simple. All right, here's our choices. Now, they put something on the screen here. You need to edit it. So, I can enter my question and choices here, but I'm going to click edit. Edit will allow me to choose my question type, enter my question. I can add more choices. I can give the learners feedback. So I can add whatever I would like to. And then I can simply preview it when I'm ready to. Let's go back. And what we're going to do now, I just want to add a quiz just to show you that piece as well. Click add content. We're going to click quiz. All right, so we get to our quiz screen and you can see it's very simple. No more difficult than the knowledge checks that we had edited before. So right away, they give me some sample questions here, and you can see that I can, try. So let's just go to the first one, and I can change the titles of everything. I can add my question. I can add choices. What kind of question do I want it to be? Multiple response, multiple choice. Do I want to add an image? And I can give the learners feedback. Here's question number 2. I can keep adding questions. Notice the button is here down on the lower part of the screen. Same type of questions that I can add in the knowledge check. I can give settings for my quiz. So let's go through those. What is a passing score, required passing score? Do I allow the users to retry? And they give me those kind of options. I click close and I could preview it. Let's go back and let's take a look at our whole entire course. So let's imagine that we've developed a whole entire course and we want to share it. So the first thing we can do is we can share it. I can share it with people. There's the web address. I can send them this address and they can preview it to test it. Do I want to make them a collaborator? I can invite them. I can also set a password. I can review. So reviewing, what it does is they're saying they're going to look and make sure that I've met all the requirements to publish. So, all right, so we've got our course name, publish a new version of existing item, no. I'm going to click publish. So we've reviewed it. I've met all the requirements. So a requirement, let's say I don't have a name for my course. They're going to actually have an error there where they're going to say, let's view and Articulate 360. Let's view our course. And then let me show you what happens if you don't have something that they require. So here we go. Here's what a user would see. We're previewing it. This is the sample. I can add comments. We'll start our course. We go through. Here's our sample text, our image that we created, our little knowledge check, and then we have our quiz. Okay, so you can see what it looks like when you've actually published it. And obviously we could have changed all that stuff. And we could preview it here. Now, we can also export. So if I click export, I can export this to an LMS. I can export this as a PDF. So when you export it as a PDF, just remember that it's becoming a document. So like if you have a video, the video is not going to show up. It's just going to show like the first, one screen of it, one frame, and that's it. Like, because it's all of a sudden become a PDF document. So just remember that. Or you can publish it just to the web, and that's what we just saw. We just saw the web version that I published. But you can publish to an LMS. It is SCORM compliant. You can track your quizzes, and there are options for all of that kind of stuff as well as you choose to export. It exports as a, if you choose for the web, it's going to export it as a zip folder. You can pull open the zip file and put it on any server you would like to. Very simple to use, very easy. Okay, now I told you what happens if you create something that, let's see, editing mistake. So notice how it says add content, but we haven't added content. So what's going to happen is we're going to go to publish this and it's not going to work because I haven't added content here. It's kind of like a quality check just in case you accidentally added something and it's not correct, or like you didn't have a course title or something. They're not going to like that. So I'm going to click export. Let's just keep it at LMS, like I'm exporting for LMS, and I'm going to click export. Let's see if it works. Oh, export checklist. It looks like your course might not complete. Give all lessons content. So it told me that I need to go back and add content here or delete this. So it's a nice little quality check before you publish, that it kind of goes through and checks everything. Really cool idea. All right, let me one final thing I want to do here is just go back. Let's just take a look just so I can show you what like a nicer course looks like. Now that you've seen like me develop like this chicken wire skeleton course, let's just take a quick look at what a nicer course looks like. So you can see we have an introduction here. Notice all the content, how many lessons they have. How sophisticated one of these courses can really be. And, I talk about, like, let's just click this one just to look at all the stuff, just to see how nice the courses are that they've developed. They're using all kinds of different blocks, the health benefits of exercise, click the flip. It tells you something about it. You have to look and feel of Captivate. Or Articulate. It's just this up and down framework. Okay, let's go to the next thing. Well, we'd have to preview for the link to work. Click let's go. We're on to the next. We've got all these nice images. We got all these hotspots. We can click on the hotspot, learn about avocados, learn about toast. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. This is like a nice little meal. It's like lunchtime for me. So we've got a nice little meal here. I got to go make this. And we can see what it looks like on the mobile device, what our users are going to see. Really cool and nice that this is available to you if you are subscribed to Articulate 360. The thing I like about this, I always tell people that Articulate or Captivate are versions of PowerPoint on steroids. This is much closer to a version of PowerPoint. I wouldn't say it's This is very user-friendly, very simple, very easy to create something like a micro course, get it out pretty quick, get the content out there, have it published, works. It's responsive, works on all devices. So My review is I like it. I think it's a really cool piece of software. I think there's a lot of use for it. I see the advantage of this over Articulate Captivate. Like I see times I would use this. For example, that piece of micro learning that's going to be on mobile. This is the perfect piece of software to use to develop it because it's going to be simple, going to be quick. I don't need to have something extensive. The other thing I like about this, if my client is subscribed to this piece of software, they can very easily edit this. There's no development file. There's no messing around installing stuff on their machine. It's all on the web. Much easier than Articulate would be for a client who has no development skills but wants to just change some content. This is much easier for that person. So Articulate, I give you all a thumbs up on Rise. I really like it. I think it's cool. I think people enjoy using it. That's why I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's why I wanted to give this review, why I wanted to walk through the piece of software. Thanks a lot, y'all.